I am doing some research for a class I'm teaching here, and I got this link shared with me by someone, and what it is an annotated list of the Bible, and what it does is it collects all the supposed contradictions in the Bible. And so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to kind of go through a few of these and just kind of show you how you can look at it and kind of parse it apart. And so what I'm going to bring here on the screen is I'm going to navigate around so you can see what the website is. It's in the archive, so you have to kind of go back into the Wayback Machine type stuff. And as you look at it, it's just, I mean, it really is cool. I really enjoy the website. But what it does is it shows all these supposed contradictions in this really, really cool blazing grid pattern. To show you the ridiculousness of it all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some of these at random, and so I'm just kind of going through one earlier that I was looking at when I queued up the video was, is marriage honorable or not? And it goes through about 15 verses on marriage, and then the last one was, oh, it's good for a man not to touch a woman. Again, what the people who make these kind of lists suffer from is you're an idiot syndrome, where basically they think anyone who believes the Bible is an idiot, and therefore there could be no reasonable explanation for it. And so if you read the context of any of those verses, the Bible is very pro-marriage, but what it's trying to say is, if you are not married, you probably better keep your hands to yourself because it's going to lead you to trouble. So it's good for a man not to touch a woman in these instances. And in fact, if you continue reading in that very passage, he's going to back up the idea that marriage is good. But he's also going to play up the idea throughout the Bible that if you're not married, that's fine too. Marriage does not make you spiritual or not. So I'm clicking on a list here. I really don't even know what the topic is, but it's God has respect for some people. And so Genesis 4:4, and Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings. Okay, so you see this word respect, and it's the idea of God having regard for someone. Now, what I want you to pay attention, because this is not new to us as Christians. We know what this is talking about, so you'll see it here on the screen. It says, and God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. And so there's an idea here where God is accepting something about them. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply, and establish my covenant with you. Again, it would be like, I've used this illustration before. If I were talking and I said, hey, students, you're not allowed to talk. And then later on I'd say, hey, I want some feedback, come on, talk. That's not a contradiction. It's context-based. And so this one instance right here, there's several verses, as you can see, where he talks about this idea of, hey, he's respecting people. But then God respects no one. And so for the Lord is God of gods, he's the Lord of lords, a great God and mighty and terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. And so this is an idea that God doesn't care what your rank is. He doesn't care who you are or what wealth you have to bring to the table. Wherefore now fear the Lord your God be upon you, take heed and do it. There is no iniquity in the Lord our God, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts. That, again, that's perfectly consistent with what the Bible says. Acts 10:34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. And again, what he's trying to say, because there comes a time as you get into the New Testament where it's like, it doesn't matter what your nationality is. Doesn't matter what your skin color is, doesn't matter what your gender is, doesn't matter who your parents are. God doesn't care. He made that about you. It's not important. In fact, some of the Jews said, oh, we have Abraham to our father. And he's like, so, out of these rocks, I could create more descendants of Abraham. And so as you look at these verses, that's what it comes down to. If you call on the Father who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. So I just wanted to show you that these things that they say are contradictions are far from it. And everything clears up if you understand the context. Now, there's some books behind me that talk about more contradictions, and so we'll get into more of those. But this is just kind of a quickie. Again, just a random, I chose at random.